Hello and welcome back to House of Tremere, episode 16. I hope you're excited for this week as we will be dealing with both the agents of hell and the soldiers of heaven. So with that, let's jump right in and do some introductions. This week let's start off with Bob. Bob, why don't you give us your introduction?
Everybody, taking time, Bob here, playing Jordy, the mid-level manager, who's got a sword about an inch from his face, pushed through a windshield. And a Salubri standing on the other side at the hilt. So we'll see how this goes.
We'll have to see how things go. Up next, Emily, why don't you give us your introduction?
Hello, I am Emily. I play Kess, who's totally fine. I didn't walk into a room with my creepy sire. It's fine. We're just chilling.
Completely fine. Nothing bad has happened.
Yeah, I didn't
Ever.
get kidnapped or hurt. Everything's
Up next, Bree, why don't you give us your introduction?
Hey everyone, I'm Marie. I play Maruna, the tarot card reading. Should have been a Malkavian, as I always say. That has definitely gotten her into trouble several times and will continue to, most likely. And in fact, all of us are in danger right now. Like, a lot of danger. Every single person. So that's fun. So I'm ready to get started.
Oh, nothing more but danger. Up next, Zach, why don't you give us your introduction?
Sure. Hello, I'm Zach. I'll be playing the young lad Hasib, new guy on the block, perpetual student. And right now, he is learning all sorts of fascinating things about buried underground temples under the city. And he is learning a lot, taking all sorts of notes. Also, it's a house of horrors, and we're all going to die or live because the power of friendship. We'll see.
Hooray! We'll have to see. And last, but certainly not least, Cyberbro, why don't you give us your introduction?
Hello, I am Cyberbro. Today I'll be reprising my role as Dr. Quentin Quangle, and he's going to scold everyone for breaking the buddy system.
Exactly. Should have known better.
Should have known.
And hi, I'm Mark, aka the CatsMeow, and this is my channel. I hope you're excited for some fun vampire action. I'm sure this won't end in some horrible things happening to my wonderful players. But we'll have to see, won't we? I think with that, we can jump right in. Let's get some. This time, we focus in on a car radio. A familiar one that we have seen before. The radio of the one and only Tremere Mobile. As we see the radio begin to split into life as the dial turned by Jordy, who currently is looking towards it and having a conversation with Dr. Quangle, and not quite noticing a man stepping out the road. Nonetheless, the sound kicks in as something cuts static once more. Hello, New England. It's currently creeping past 2 a.m., and there's something crackling in the air. You can feel it, can't you? That low hum in your bones, that little jolt in your spine. The sky's watching you above. They say lightning never strikes twice. They also say milk's good for you. Government tells you the truth, so hey, take your chances as you like. Tonight's got teeth. Something wild is pacing just outside the edge of the light. Could be a fight, could be a kiss. Either way, you're gonna feel it. For all my night riders, adrenaline junkies, and barroom prophets out there, this one's for you. From 1990, still loud enough to peel the paint off your soul, AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Duck and cover. With that, as the music begins to cut in, we see Geordie begin to turn as a figure in the street begins to step toward the vehicle, brushing brushing aside their coat to reveal a large bastard sword inside that they slowly pull from its scabbard and begin to run at the vehicle. At which point Geordie immediately puts his foot on the gas, attempting to run over this individual, only for the individual to jump about. We'll say about 10 feet into the air and land on the hood of the truck, of the van, before taking the bastard sword and jamming it through the front windshield until the blade is about 4 inches away from Geordie's face. It is upon which Geordie sees what at first seemed to be a scar on the man's forehead open up into a third blazing eye, as he can see the wrath and rage of the warrior Slubry before him. I think with that, would anyone like to lead off with the recap of the previous night?
All right, I can do it. All right, so last episode, the song was "Ironic" by Alanis Morissette. All right, the rave occurred. Hasib, and Maruna, and Kess were present. They were led by one of Kess's exes, we believe. Maruna, first and foremost, when they got there, they separated. You know, they broke the buddy system as quickly as possible. A cult tried to recruit Maruna. Don't have too many details on the nature of the cult personally, but it was a cult and a bad one. But the power of friendship prompted her to run. So Maruna ran with Hasib in tow. Kess's meeting is missing. No, I don't think we know that in character, but the Kess, we believe, is with Caius, and Kess didn't seem very happy about that. Jory and Quangle were having a quiet night in the chantry since all the kids are gone. Jory was speaking to the house again. We all don't know that in character. And Dr. Quangle was working on various things regarding the flesh and sometimes the mind. Quangle and Jordy met back up in the library. They made some plans, had some heart-to-heart conversations. We received a call by an individual informing Quangle and Jordy that the children were in danger and they needed to be saved again. So, Jordy and Quangle decided to go and save Maruna, Kess, and Hasib, where they were aggressively panhandled by a guy with 3 eyes.
All right. Anything else anyone would like to add?
Jody was researching the mirror. I don't know if he got through that or not, but the mirror ritual.
Right.
I'd just like to.
Go ahead.
I would just like to add that the too long didn't read would be everyone's a little bit fucked right now.
That's about right. Also, for some details on the cult did reveal some information to me. Not only recruit her, but their ultimate goal is to end all of existence.
Existence.
So
Yeah.
that's fun. They are also a cult to Lilith, the Dark Mother. With that, we are going to do something odd. We cut to a scene 6 months ago. We focus in on Dr. Quangle. By this point, you've been at the chantry, I believe about a year or so, perhaps a bit. But you begin to notice some strange feeling, blood, like a bubbling sensation. Something just beneath the surface is stirring within, and you're not quite sure what to make of it. So you've taken some time to yourself to think, to focus, to look within, find whatever it is stirring. We cut Dr. Quangle standing before a mirror, his hand moving up to him, as we watch as his fingers touch his skin, and then his skin begins to move, shift, as if it were clay. With that, how does Dr. Quangle explore and investigate this oddity to his blood?
I think Quangle would audibly say fascinating. And just in the beginning, very minor movements, maybe moving the chin a little bit, putting putting a butt in his chin. I've always wanted one of these, and just shifting that around, changing the nose a little bit. So that's his exploration. Just very minor movements, just feeling it out. Nothing major yet.
Then move her head a little bit to an undetermined amount of time. Dr. Quangle, you have been able to explore, understand this ability a bit more, as well as test some of its limits. There is a
Yes.
point where we see the back of Dr. Quangle's head, and we see the pieces of his flesh and face have been peeled to the side. We can't quite see what's going on underneath, but we can see his hand move. The horrible sound, muscle and flesh tearing and ripping and being re-put into. Eventually, we watch as your fingers touch the sides, back. And as we focus in, watch as you're putting the finishing touches, line down, lip, your chin, sealing something, or perhaps disguising it. With that,
More than likely disguising it, yes.
why don't you make me a flesh crafting roll?
Okay.
This will be strength medicine. Difficulty
Strength
7.
medicine. Difficulty 7, all right. Dice, strength, submit, medicine. No. Difficulty 7. Okay.
Okay. It is a painful and painful, but you push through. The only indication that there is anything, a slight cut top of your lip, as if like your lip had been split open. Other than that, it's barely noticeable.
An imperfect job, but passable, yes. Excellent.
It's at which point we see a perspective behind Quengle. We watch as that almost imperceivable red rope is around his neck and back behind him. We see a hand reach out to grasp around this red string. We see a shadow, dark and looming. This is not the same one we've seen before, but a new presence. A new monster that has entered the... It is with that.
They'll have to take a number. I owe a lot of debts. They'll have to take a number.
It's true. It is with that. Remove to ourselves to another more peaceful scene. Kess, you have been pulled aside by Anna, or Anastasia, who said that she had something that she wished to speak to you of great importance. Now, of course, Kess is a suspicious, but not even you can resist the powers of presence. So you follow her. You feel in the back of your mind, this isn't something you should be doing. But you feel compelled. An inability to resist. You find yourself in a room off to the side. Inside, Anna sits on what looks to be a stone bed of some sort. She looks at you and pats next to her a cold stone. How have you been?
Is he no longer under it? Is he able to like shoot? Okay. He does not sit down. He kind of stands closer to the door. You said you had something important to talk about.
Yes, of course, but I don't know how you're doing. I mean, we haven't spoken in ages.
Not good, Anna. I've died since we last spoke. And so have you.
I mean, I don't think of it as dying. It's more of like a... It's like a rebirth.
Anna gets to the point.
I worried. I didn't know what happened to you. Still don't really know. I missed you. And I heard
He puts
about
his hand on the doorknob.
all that's happened. Everything you've been through. I just, help you. Care.
What do you mean what I've been through?
Well, I heard a little bit from, well, just about what goes on in the... What is it they call it? The chantry?
Anna, with the most respect, I need you to find a point other than a catch-up. I need to go back.
Hey, wait, I wanted to help fix something. Because I'd heard that you have had issues in the past with, well, heard about your sire, what he did to you.
What have you done?
Well, I help fix that. Help fix whatever rift was caused and help you see things are better on this side of things, that you don't have to, that you can be with us.
Who's us, Anna?
At which point, footsteps can be heard down the hall. Yes, these are familiar footsteps. She heard them many times. They are precise. They are
What did you
surprisingly
do?
light for the echoing sound you hear in your psyche. You watch as a hand lands on the door and twists, opening as it pulls aside, and as you turn around to see in the doorway, expression of calculated mirth, is your sire, Caius.
I think
Hello,
there's a
child.
half step taken away.
Hello, child. Then turns from you, his piercing gaze staring right through your soul. As he looks to Anna. Is this why you asked for me to appear? Anna nods.
What the hell did you do? He says that to Anna, not to Kaius.
I brought you together so you guys can talk things out. That way we can fix everything and then we can just be, you know, a big happy family. We were meant to be.
I think Kes tries to walk out the door.
Caius is standing in the.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
If you would like, make a
Oblivious.
courage roll.
Sure, let's go. I'll go for it.
Courage roll, difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8. Yeah, okay. 1 second.
Actually, no, difficulty 9. This is Caius.
Oh, yeah, let's
This is
go.
literally your torturer.
I don't know how to roll courage. I'm so sorry. Is
It's
it the
one of
willpower
virtues.
path virtues?
Yes.
Okay. Courage. 9. Yeah, no. No, I stay where I am. I'll move.
I think you're quite literally frozen here, because you can feel the beast within you. As if it's trying to claw its way out of your chest to escape. It is not a good feeling. At this point, Caius' attention. As he steps into the room, one hand pushes the door closed. as he says, "Fine. If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation." As the door closes on our perspective, and we pull back away from this room, faster and faster through the twisting labyrinth that is this ancient temple, before we eventually pull back to Maruna's perspective. As Maruna, you are focusing, trying to find Cass. You see the energy. Sense Cass. You also see something darker. Twisted. Cass is in danger.
Yes.
You can feel his fear. What would you like to do?
Follow it. Follow that.
The sleep you watch as Maruna begins to run in. Down one of them, spiraling.
Asib, he hesitates for a second because he's been trying desperately to memorize this place, but he's not good at memorizing them with pressure. Not like this. He blinks as he's looking around. He's been jotting notes down in his notebook, but he doesn't let Maruna get out of his sight. He's gonna run, and he is pretty quick to catch up.
And I said last session, but just to reiterate, she definitely said, Cass is in trouble. We have to find him now.
Seep would have nodded. He's still blinking and looking around, peering into the darkness. The buddy system. That Anna was with Cass.
We shouldn't have ever let him go alone with her. We shouldn't have. I shouldn't have done. I should have known something was gonna happen. We need to find him now. And we'll stay together.
Seeb kind of stiffens his spine just slightly as he nods and will bolt off with following Maruna.
Begin to make your way down the twisting labyrinth that you have found yourself in. Each hallway almost feels as if it grows narrower. You feel your chest almost compress, as if there is a lack of air. But you don't need to breathe. No, this is a far more unsettling feeling. Like an elephant sitting on your chest. Pushing through this almost thick air. Miasma that has formed before you. As if dread itself made manifest. With that, sound of shattering glass can be heard. As we return back to a car, or rather a van, that now has a salubri on its wing. That's better. Right then. With that, Jordy and Dr. Quangle, what do you do as there is now a salubri standing on the hood of your car with its massive bastard sword through the windshield and just inches away from you? I believe the last thing you screamed was fucking Soul Eater.
That's right. Yeah, seatbelt's going off, doors flying open, and he's rolling out the driver's side at this point.
Dr. Quaggle, you watch as Jody rolls out of the vehicle.
Spending 2 points of blood to boost dexterity.
Quangle's going to do the same thing. He'll fumble with the seatbelt and roll out of the car. Now, Bob, you mentioned spending 2 points of blood to boost dexterity. Is that a good idea?
Your generation gives you a number of blood that you can spend a turn. As vampires, you can boost physical attributes by that amount for a scene only, I believe. Is that correct,
Okay.
Mark? Did I get that right?
That is correct. After the scene.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't want to spend the blood. I'm pretty dexterous. I'll rely on Quangle's natural dexterity. He was a surgeon, best one in the Tri-County area.
Right then, I need you both to make me. Let's go. Dexterity and athletics.
Does this apply before or after the boost?
This will be after. The boost is me. Yeah.
Base difficulty?
Yeah, standard 6.
And you said acrobatics?
Athletic.
Athletics. Okay, gotcha.
Athletics.
Standard difficulty?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, also, I need all of you to run. 6. Actually, Cody, how many episodes has it been since you had your immunity? 2 or 3?
Maybe 2 or 1. One of the two. It's been
Oh,
2
you still have it
probably.
then. You still have it then. So you don't need to roll. Everyone else needs to roll me a d10. See how stable you are. Session. Good to know. With that, so we have 3 successes from Dory and 2 successes from Dr. Klein. It is immediate and quickly that both of you immediately take off your seatbelts. Jordy, you opening the door and rolling out almost in the same motion. Who wins the rollout? Jordy does. 3 successes. Dr. Quaggle, you're more like quickly having to because you noticed like a split second after Jordy has begun to jump out of the door he has just opened. I forget
Yeah, I
which side
think,
to
left.
describe on. Left,
Yeah. And I also have to fumble with my bag too. I brought my bag with all my implements and tools.
You watch as you pull the belt back, grabbing your bag, and begins to dive out the doorway as well. Just about a second or two behind you, as you both roll on the ground and you watch as the vehicle begins to continue careening in the direction.
We're not going to get our deposit back on that.
Yeah, I fucking figured that out.
So we're going to ride and ride, so we're not going to fight this thing.
Your call. There's 2 of us here. Right now, it's 2 on 1.
For how long? And we have to get to the others. Let's make our escape.
Right, so we turn and run, I suppose. Jordy is going to pull his. He does have a handgun. He's going to pull his handgun.
I would say you guys both notice as the vehicle is careening off, you hear the sound of metal being placed from before you hear the sound of tearing metal. See, running atop of the vehicle that's now away is the same individual, dragging the sword along, cutting a deep gash into the metal. You guys both know sword can't fucking do that. So clearly something supernatural is going on because that's cutting through steel like it's butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watch as he jumps off and lands on the ground. He is about... say about half a mile? That far?
Half a mile's pretty far.
About a kilometer.
Oh, yeah, that works. Yeah.
And you see him look at you too, and begin to run in your direction.
Yeah, Quangle books it.
Yeah. We're already moving. I don't think we stopped to look. Like we probably are looking backwards while we're running.
Yeah. I'll say the one thing you know. Actually, no. Let's do a roll. This is going to be either strength athletics or dexterity athletics. To get the fuck out.
Standard difficulty.
Yes, in there.
I'm gonna use a point of willpower.
I think I might have done something on accident here. Just checking.
Take my willpower down.
You said standard?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a lot of low dice.
Dr. Quangle, you have begun to move ahead. And Cody, you're actually starting to slow down. Or rather, the salubri seems to be speeding up. You don't know if you can outpace him. You might be able to, but he also might catch you. Is there anything you would like to do?
No, I think he's gonna turn in. I don't think he's gonna try and face this thing. He's heard horror stories. He's gonna just give it even more.
Okay.
Everything he has.
In that case, we'll do it again. This time, we are looking at difficulty 7. Now both of you are beginning to... from what you can tell, you think this guy may have slipped.
Okay. We're not gonna outpace that.
I will say,
And
this
Mark,
point,
do
you're
those
beginning
botches
to...
count?
No,
that?
botches don't count. Oh, actually, yeah. So you're at 4
Jordy
successes.
catches up with Quangle as he says that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll say you guys can either have one more chance to outrun him, or you turn and face. Just so you know, at the moment he has a total of 9 success.
Okay. And he's within line of sight, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Um, I have the contradictability through Path of Corruption. So Quangle's gonna look over his shoulder, look at the guy, and yell out, "Would you kindly go in the other direction?"
Make your
I believe that's I gotta figure out. The player rolls per normal. So it says the player rolls per normal, but what is that? Like it doesn't say.
you roll to activate power, so it's your willpower, and it is difficulty that is 3 plus the level of the power.
Okay, so difficulty 4 then, because it's a level 1 power. So it'd be
Willpower difficulty.
a will. So willpower, modifier, difficulty 4.
Oh, and you spend a point of blood tap.
Okay, blood spent. I'll make sure. That way. We'll call it.
What did you roll again? Roll a 6. Botch is alive. So you guys know
Okay.
for the rest of the game, and you guys either find a solution to power your blood, you need an 8 or
Okay, got you. All right. I rolled an exceptional success on the dice, but he gets a roll too. Where I assume I don't want to assume. Anyway,
is a-
the target rolls perception plus subterfuge. The difficulty is equal to the number of successes scored by the caster plus 2. So
Six.
difficulty 6. Like
It's
yep.
perception subterfuge.
Perception. Yes, sir. And then I gotta spend a point of blood.
High perception, low subterfuge. Do 6 answers? Yes. It's called contradiction.
Yep. Contradiction. I can because I have it on my character sheet. I can send it to you.
That'd be great.
That's easier. Okay, easy day. Copy. I will send it.
Contradict.
Oh, contradict. Sorry about that. But it's coming here. It's in the cloud. I guess it should be there soon.
Oh, also, because you're activating the first level ability, it's actually difficulty 4 for you.
Oh, it's difficulty 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said that though. Yeah, because that's what I put down there. Difficulty 4.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Still
no,
same.
all good.
Yep.
All good. Contradicts. 2 successes allow the subject to realize that they are being by an outsider. Yeah. So you watch as you activate your power, and the figure immediately begins turning around and running in the other.
Yeah, Jordy's not gonna stop. He's just gonna kind of look for a second, confused, and like he was ready to turn. And then, as Slippery starts running in the other direction, he raises a brow at. Did Quangle said something, right?
Yeah, Quangle audibly said, "Would you kindly run in the opposite direction?"
I didn't know you had dominate. Say that, and they'll start running again.
I'm just persuasive, Jordy. Keep up.
Then watches. He watches the figure stops and turns around, grits its fangs, snarling in your direction as it begins to run off. By that point, I need you guys to make athletics or strength athletics.
What's the difficulty?
This will
Still 6?
be difficulty 8.
One success.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, success, success.
3 success. Or on so you guys managed to outpace him. And we watch as you guys begin to turn away, look back, and seem to arrest your pursuer. For the time being, at least.
That'll just buy us some time. He won't stop.
And did you look him in the eye?
Which one?
That's the question. Quengo looks at Jordy. How do they steal souls? I don't. I know they're still stealers, but how do they do it? I always thought it was the eye.
Maybe. Or diablerie. It's not clear.
Hmm.
Where the hell are we? He's gonna look around for street signs, anything to get his bearing.
To look around and focus more. You hear this thumping. Turn around to see what looks to be this old-looking, abandoned metro station that seems to be lively and not so abandoned. Sound of dick thumping stone, concrete, as it seems like a rave is happening. Dr. Quenville, as you look up around the signs, I think both of you, I think you shared the address you received. This would match the address that you over the phone.
How fortuitous. We have arrived where we intended to go.
On foot, but it's better than not arriving, I guess.
Well, yes, you tried to hit the man with the car.
Do you really think that would have changed anything?
Well, no, you could have driven around him, turned the car around and driven in the other direction. There were options, Jordy.
Next time you can drive, then.
Well, if we get another car, yes, probably. All right, I guess we would try to make our way in. Yeah.
With that, we watch as you guys begin to make your way in. Jordy, what do you do with the gun you have? Do you just dash it away?
Yep. Yeah, he's not going to get rid of it. He doesn't have to. It's registered. Or whatever he's got to do to not have it instantly be trouble for him in a Masquerade type way.
To an identity.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a person that exists, but a person. With that, as we watch as you, we cut back to Kess. As we see Caius sitting in a stone chair opposite Kess. Found yourself sitting on bed, the stone bed, next to Anna. Not by choice, more by Aya stepping into the room and you instinctively trying to take a step back until there's nowhere left. Step.
Yeah.
With that, we see Caius is sitting there, leaning on one of his arms, as he seems to look at Kess and surprisingly to you, Kess, Caius looks annoyed. As if he doesn't want to be here any more than you.
Given his courage roll, I'm not sure he says anything. I think it's more of a like I'm studying to see where my opening is to like get out and be
Yeah.
done.
Sits there, looking between before he speaks. Says, "This was a foolish idea. Donovan, I think it's better that you two have time to talk. After all, wouldn't it be better if Tess was with us, not against us?" Caius just I suppose it doesn't matter any. Say my cover is statement, but it will have to do for now. So, yes. What do you think you stumbled?
I'm not sure that I know.
No. Of course you don't. He then stares dagger back at him.
Did
This
you
was
make her?
He laughs. It is a laugh without humor. Oh. I have no desire to someone so annoying. With that, she almost glares back at him. Interestingly enough, she doesn't have much fear of him. And he, in turn, does not pay too much attention to her, other than the annoyance that you have seen so far. See, Anna, you made a mistake. Hess is not. Understand what it is. The followers of the Dark Mother achieve. Anna then speaks up and says, "Why not? I know Kess will understand. He's seen the world, he's experienced what it does. Why wouldn't he? Because Kess is a hopeless fool. And he always has been." Upon which Anna stands and says, "Don't you dare speak about him that way."
I think Kess grabs her by the back of an arm and yanks down.
Roll me a strength. Roll.
Yeah, it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so awesome. Is it just strength?
Strength and brawl.
Strength
and
and brawl, great. This is Mark. This is
Uh,
gonna be great. You're gonna
We're gonna
love this
call
roll.
this difficulty 8.
Okay.
Because Anna is stronger than she looks. She has potent.
Kess is not strong. One die.
You go to grab and pull Anna back. Anna is like a statue. You cannot move.
Okay.
Despite her outbursts, Caius looked unconvinced. What you seem to not understand, Anna, that you've made things a... Caius can no longer serve his purpose now that he has been pulled away. Anna responds, he's not just some tool for you to use. Caius glares. How would you like to respond, Ken? The room goes
I
silent
think
once.
Kess in the middle of these two arguing. I think as soon as they go quiet, Kess is just going to look at Caius. I'm not sure I rightly understand what's happening.
That's because you're not
May I?
meant to.
I'm
Anna's-
okay not understanding. May I go?
Anna
Please.
kind of looked sad as she... Well... Caius. No. No, you may. See, what Anna fails to understand is that you are now a liability to my future.
You're going to kill me.
Oh. No, my dear little song. I'm going... Oh. Upon which, you watch as at lightning speed, Anna grabs him by the throat and pushes him against the wall.
Can I back towards the door?
Yeah, you may.
Yeah, he's moving towards the door. He's moving to leave. Like if they're gonna fight, that's fine.
Would you run or would you try and back away?
I don't think he's taking his eyes off them. I think it's backing towards the door.
With that, as Anna is fangs bared out, you see right now, Caius is pissed. But Anna is far more furious. As she says, watch your tongue, or else I'll have mistress cut it out. You don't have that kind of power, child. Just because I didn't from harming you does not mean I can not make things very difficult. Let go. Now. Anna lets go. Steps back to the bed with a... more of a something you'd expect from a petulant child than a powerful vampiric spirit.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
For that honor, you have questions, don't you? Let me help you. Let me show you.
He, no, he means what he said.
Let him hurt you. I promise.
I don't think you could stop him. He doesn't look at her. He's looking dead at Caius the entire time.
Caius is staring at you. At which point, the door slams open as Maruna and Hasib
My
appear.
back is to it. My back is to the door.
You get pushed forward. I think it's like a thing where you get sandwiched between the door and the wall as they burst
Oh
into
my
the room.
god, this is amazing.
Maruna and Hasib, you step into the room and you see Kes kind of off to the side now because you've kind of pushed him out of the way. And you see Anna, and in the corner of the room, Caius.
I think Maruna very quickly just scanning, clocking the situation, would just, put herself. It's already pretty easy to do because of the door accidentally pushing Kes.
Yeah.
Should apologize if they had more time. But instead she's just gonna put herself mainly between him and Caius, and look kind of confused at Anna, and then what's going on?
So, am I between the door and the wall, or have I just been shoved out of the way?
No, you've been shoved out of the way. You've been shoved out of the way.
I think seeing Maruna and Hasib entering unknowingly into a very dangerous situation, I think Kes finally moves. And I think he grabs Maruna, shoves Hasib out the door, and he's just gonna book it with the two of them if he can. He has no
Alright.
idea where. He's in a terror. He has no idea where he's going. He's just booking it.
Yeah, Maruna's not gonna. She'll ask questions while they're running, not.
I think Hasib was mid-word before he got shoved back out of the door. And
Like starts to say something, immediately gets shoved.
Should be. Maruna would be reoriented towards, trying to go back towards the exit.
With that, we cut back to inside the room. We watch as Caius very calmly and is stunned for a moment, but she immediately starts to run the door. Caius just says calmly, and this is what happens when petulant children to a group concerned with better things. That she turns snarl. If you had just treated him better, this wouldn't be an issue. He'd be mine. Caius just shakes his head. He was never to begin. He belonged to me. And he knows it. And he will never forget it. And watch as he. You guys begin running your way down the twisting labyrinth moving through the different turning hallways, trying to turn down the right route, but in the end, picking whichever direction you first, twisting and turning and running. Eventually, though, you arrive at the entrance to where you came. You see
Getting in the elevator.
rickety elevator.
Yep, don't even care. Getting in the elevator. Hitting the button. Doing the like horror movie, like just hitting it as many times as I possibly can to make it go faster.
It's at this point we see that there are a number of individuals in veils are slowly beginning to make their way to the elevator. As we watch as the elevator is very slowly, the gates kind of creaking and moving. Eventually, one of you just quickly slams them shut.
Yeah.
And then we watch the elevator slowly creak as we see build in depth, looking, send. Yes, you see the figure of Caius look up at you. Takes a knife. It cuts along. And you hear in your head, "You not escape me, yes. You are mine to do with as I." With that, we cut to Dr. Quangle and Geordie as they step into the rave. The sounds of thumping music all around. The smells of sweat, alcohol, and narcotics fill the air. What would you like to do?
Quangle will look to Jordy and say, I'm surprised they let you in with those shoes on.
Where exactly did they go again? And why the fuck are we at a rave?
Apparently, this is the address I was given, so they're somewhere here, more than likely in danger.
Yeah, that's why we're here, right? Let's go find them. Got any ideas?
I look out along the sea of people. Is there like a dark corner or something? Kess usually haunts dark corners.
There are a number of dark corners. Would like you perception and awareness.
Okay, perception.
If you have aspects. So do know if you do, botches become blind.
I don't have aspects, so what difficulty?
This will be difficulty
7.
You see at the corners of this location, there isn't just mortals here. You can see in the shadows and darkness familiar creatures, kindred. Some of them simply pale figures that stand one crowd, while others have individuals under their arm that are much more out of it than the rest of the crowd. Some secretly feeding in the shadows, others simply enjoying their power. Do not spot.
Is there? Okay. Is there a particular corner where there doesn't look like there's kindred? Kess is a solitary feeder.
A no, this place is
Pretty full.
would notice.
While he's
however,
doing that, oh, go ahead.
I would say you would notice in the back there is sound creaking metal area up the back.
I don't see Kess amongst the other haunts here. In the back, there looks to be some creaking metal back there. Could be something, could be nothing. But that's as much as I was able to determine using my eyes.
Mark, you say there's kindred here. Do Jordy recognize any of them from the politics of the city, either good or bad? Like either because they stand out as political figures or they stand out as people that get in trouble with the sheriff? Or people he's
Politics.
knocked on. Yeah. Standard difficulty?
Yes. Two successes.
2 successes.
Yeah, you've knocked on a number of these individuals. These definitely can vampires. There's probably a couple few that you don't recognize, but that's not uncommon in the cam. There are probably quite a few recluses that aren't that important.
These are like neonates mostly?
Mostly neonates. You wouldn't see anyone of higher.
Given that, I think Jordy would just look to make sure that he doesn't see the Bruja that kicked his chest in less than a week ago.
Why don't you roll me a d10 and tell me high or low?
Let's go with high.
Okay. Check something. You do see a familiar figure there. With 2 successes, the Harpy of the Elysium, Lucielle Fontaine, member of Clan Torio. See, she
There's
seems
the
to be off
Harpy.
on her own with what looks to be a clique of other kindred around her.
Should we go play nice?
Personally, I'm not in the mood to be social. If the other three are here, then there may be more to this place than it seems.
That's what I'm thinking.
This wasn't on their itinerary of places to go to.
No. Fuck. I'm gonna go talk to her. I have to. Someone has to. They see us, they're gonna wonder why we're here.
True. I will join you then.
We could maybe report what we saw, what happened outside.
That would be wise. We just happened to come upon here. Hopefully the other three don't run out at an inopportune time, but yes, it's an option.
Maybe keep an eye on the back and I'll do the talking.
Will do.
So yeah, with that, Jordy will... I guess Jordy and Quengle are going to go over and find their way into the Harpy's circle.
With that, as you begin to step forward, you can see there are a few kindred that seem to make their way forward, stop you getting there. However, you watch as they stop, as you do as well. Seeing this radiant figure of Lucille. Lucille is a woman of many hats, or rather, many wigs, constantly changing her hairstyle from. Today, she seems to be wearing what looks to be a very short, icy blonde wig with makeup to match. She looks at you with a smile. And perhaps there's some part of you that can't help smiling in response. But then you realize...
He would hate that.
Yeah, exactly. And you would be aware that you are definitely under the powers. Or at least you would assume. It's hard to tell something.
Yeah, that makes him both comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. So
He says, well, well, well. If it isn't the sheriff's dog. Sorry, friend.
Harpy,
What
is this where you
brings
spend all your time?
No. Just a place I heard about them. Supposedly, a good time. I've been enjoying it so far. I do so enjoy new experience. Tell me, what brings you here? This doesn't feel like it would be your... scene?
No, we were on our way somewhere, and we encountered someone that wasn't exactly a friend.
Oh. The Anarchs are like that this time. Best to ignore. And then they go away.
Might be an anarch, but I've yet to find one with 3 eyes.
He stops for 3 eyes.
Ran a sword through the vehicle like it was butter.
Stay. Make a charisma and expression.
I think I might have a negative related to Narc. I think it makes it 1 difficulty higher, I think.
Yeah, you have a difficulty.
Yeah.
It would be difficulty 7. Actually, no, it'd be
7.
difficulty 8. It'd be 7 by default because you're a Tremere. People don't believe you.
Yeah. Either 1 or 0, depending.
Would not be a botch, is
So a 1.
She looks at you. You can tell she finds it hard to believe. Doesn't mean she hasn't made a note of it.
It doesn't really matter. Oh, just get our bearings here and then we'll be on our way. But I saw you here and I thought I would at least say hi.
Well. I take it you've had an eventful night then.
Something like that. He kind of keeps looking at her and he can't help but look at her because of the presence, and then he sort of catches himself and diverts his eyes awkwardly.
For that, she almost seems to look past you. And who's your friend?
You don't know Quangle? He drops the doctor just because that would be nice to give him that expression. He can't allow that to be the first time he mentions that. So
At that mention, Quangle was dutifully looking at the door as told. So Quangle will look over his shoulder and turn to the group having been summoned. Dr. Quangle, Dr. Quentin Quangle, pleased to meet you.
A doctor? My, Geordie. Seems like you actually have friends. Or perhaps it'd be apt to say, clanmate?
Does anyone really have friends in our kind?
I don't know. Jody is one of the most social people I know.
That's sad. As she says that, there is like a chuckling laughter that kind of goes over the crowd of other kindred.
Yeah, Jordy like looks at each of them just so if we get out of this one day, he can get back at them in some petty way possible.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Oh, everyone knows. Lucille Fontaine. Copy of.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to make yours as well. So what brings Nark, tall and handsome doctor, brave in the middle of the city? I find it difficult to stumble on it. I was assured that this was quite exclusive.
Where are you now? By who?
People I know. Friends.
Oh, we had little trouble getting in.
It would seem so.
Well, Jordy, you were with me, so I would assume that kind of helped.
That's why I'm pointing it out, yes.
At this point, the elevator arrives at its destination. Barreling out of it, Varuna, Kess, and T, as you guys make your way out into the actual grave proper. At this point, both Jordy and Quangle are perceptive enough to see three figures that are rushing out of a back area.
In there, my good lady, goes our reason for being here.
Such a shame. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
I look forward to the evening.
Enjoy your night. Jordy will turn around and... sorry, was it clear to Jordy that they're leaving?
Yes, you
He's not very perceptive.
Everyone.
Okay. Yeah, so
I think
he'll
it
turn
draws
around.
attention. There's quite a few people that.
He's pretty curt with the goodbye, just simply saying that, and then he's going to turn and not give her another glance as he walks over to his clanmates.
Quangle will turn, give her another glance, and then walk over to his clanmates.
Tess is still full tilt running. He does not stop unless someone tells him.
I will say there's a point where you reach the crowd. Have to.
Oh yeah, it's like weaving. Yeah.
Yeah, navigating the crowd. Marina would be trying to help navigate the crowd, and seeing Jordy and Quangle heading over she'd just wave them over and just pointing toward the door.
Okay. With that, we watch as all of you converge outside abandoned Petra.
This was not on your itinerary. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What the hell is this all about?
Where's the car?
We need to get to the chantry. Right now.
It was cut in half.
What? You mean the van?
Then can we need to call it a taxi or something? We
We
need to
need
get
to
away.
keep moving. It was cut in half pretty close. Salubri.
Okay. Let's go.
Why are we going off of the itinerary?
I think. Are we calling? So are they calling a cab, or are they moving further away to call a cab?
I was thinking moving further away to call a cab.
Yeah. Cass is not going slowly. It is a very tall man going very, very fast. There's no in between of speed.
Specifically, not in the direction we came from.
Yeah.
Other
Away
direction.
from danger.
What?
Presumably.
Away from
That
wherever
way.
that was.
Stage left, yeah.
Oh, I think we can explain more when we get back to the chantry, but there are a lot of dangerous people underground there, underneath that rave, including Caius.
Fuck.
And the Bahari.
Bahari.
Intelligence occult, difficulty 8.
If I roll it, is it also difficulty 8?
Yes. Stuff Caius did not share with you for free.
I know. I just like knowing things.
Well, then roll well.
Listen, Mark, the dice gods decide. Heart of the cards.
Are the cards.
Heart of the cards.
See?
It
Are the
worked.
cards. It worked.
Alright then, 3 successes, 2 successes, 4 successes. Kess, you have actually read some texts about the Bahari, as have the rest, or has Jordy and the Bahari are a cult of kindred that believe that the origin of kindred kind is not Cain or any other figure like that, but is the demon goddess Lilith, aka the Dark Mother. They see her as the creator of all monsters, including kindred kind. Now, there are many different groups of Bahari that share different ideas and ideals, but there are a few things that stay the same. For one, they believe that pain is the ultimate teacher. That pain and pleasure are just different sides of the same coin. Through that, they practice dark rituals, summonings of demons and devils and dark creatures and monsters. You know that they're very much bad news. They also are rumored to have their own form of blood sorcery. Whether or not that's true is hard to tell, but who knows?
Well, he can cause pain from afar, and just had his voice in my head, so, you know, it's fine. Okay,
So
Oh,
Bahari and Salubri now.
Also, just a general note, the Bahari are very much focused on making sure that the teachings of Cain are forgotten and they are replaced by the teachings, which, let's say, are far more destructive.
Which is saying something, because it's not like the teachings of Cain are rainbows and sunshine. um, yeah. So Maruna, as they're walking, that they wanted me to join them.
And this might seem obvious to most, but you didn't?
No, I ran.
Okay, just need to make sure I understand where we're at. Why the fuck was Caius in there? He stops and he looks at Kess.
I would like to go home.
Yeah,
I
what we're
don't.
working on that right now, Kess.
He's like fight or flight. Like he looks fight or flight.
Quangle would be at the nearest payphone calling the taxi cab, while Jordy should be scolding everyone.
It seems along the
He-
road, like trying to wave down every car that passes by and the chance that they're a taxi.
He's he's one of them. And apparently me seeing that means that I'm not useful anymore. So that was a well-timed coming into a room, but I would like to go home.
We
Mhm.
received an anonymous tip. That's the only reason we're here. Quangle said it was that bit wraith or whatever.
Oh, was
Zeitgeist?
it Beitgeist?
Yeah.
Oh, he is a great friend. I'm glad that he let you know where we were. It's surprising he knew, but well, we must have been watched.
Mark, can we assume that I've called a taxi cab and I'm rejoining the group now?
Yes.
Just so I understand the full picture, you found Bahari and Caius there. Were you all together so you could make an escape? What? How did you get here? This wasn't on the itinerary. I've said that twice now.
On the way to the Nosferatu, right? And Asim looks to Kess primarily because Kess and Anna was the reason we went this way.
You were to go to the Nosferatu. You went there, didn't you?
No, the Bahari, an old friend of mine from before all of this found us. And turns out she's one of them. And she called Caius, and shut me and her in a room with him, and he was not happy.
Shut you in the room with them alone?
Yeah. He says that I can't serve my purpose anymore. And that he's going to do far worse than kill me. And that it doesn't matter where I go. So,
Did he give you the impression that he was there for any other reason than being part of the Bahari?
I have a feeling that I wasn't supposed to know that part.
Implying that he's a part of the Bahari. Why? Quangle will look over to Maruna and Hasib. Why was Kess in a room alone with Caius and some other individual?
His old friend wanted to talk to him for a moment.
And you left him with his old friend.
I left with her.
It seems like they deserved a moment of privacy. We weren't separated for very long.
And what did you two do while you were separated from Kess?
That was when the matron, they called her. She called herself, I think, one of the leaders, I believe.
And
Of
she
the
would
Bahari, the bride. She called herself as well.
here. Oh, here. And he flips through. He flips through a notebook. And there's a sketch of a black veiled woman covering the face and wearing a black dress. It's not great, but as it was a quick sketch. She was she said many worrying things about destroying reality and ripping open the heavens.
Destroying reality.
There was a painting in the room, and she told me to look at it, and I did, and I saw there were other things in the painting besides what met the eye. And at first, it was terrifying, but it was intriguing. And then she started talking about the ultimate freedom being to destroy everything in existence, to destroy existence itself. And I know you all think I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
We're a bit past that at this point, Maruna. There's too much going on to doubt anything at this point.
Good.
One thing of note, though, and Sebe flips to another page. There was one of the paintings was very strangely depicting something that may have been similar to what our ritual may require. The processes are a little different. I don't know. It was just a picture. Maybe Rooney, do you know more? I know you could see more into these pictures, but it looked like a bunch of creatures, wolves, people
They were
around
women.
around a central figure.
Bahari, and the woman in the center was the last daughter of Eve. And she was
Mark.
crying.
Sorry, go ahead.
She was crying because whatever they were doing in that circle, they were summoning something. They were invoking the ultimate destruction of everything.
Destruction of everything. I see. Is there anything else?
One of the paintings was a painting of Eve and the serpent bit me, almost bit me. Didn't quite.
There's a whole temple down there, like something you would see in ancient Greece or something. You know, right here in the city.
Yeah, in the
I
sewers.
see. Well, we have much to ponder over, but I feel like it must be stated. You all were giving tasks to do tonight and this evening. You did not complete all of them, and then you separated the first chance you got off on a side tangent thing. I'm disappointed in you. He looks to Hasib, Maruna, and Kessa. I'm disappointed in the decisions you are making. Jordy?
Jordy just uncharacteristically just walks away. Just a few steps away. Just starts looking down the street.
He's speechless.
These things are important.
It's not that these things aren't important, but you must see that that could have really gone left for you in there on multiple occasions.
And your car was torn in half by a salubri. So I don't think anywhere is safe.
The point is not that it's somewhere safe. The point is that you stay together Our car was torn in half, but Jordy and I were together. You left Kess alone. Caius could have done innumerable amount of things to him.
That was my mistake. I shouldn't have let them.
I left them, to be honest.
Yes. And I expect that from you. And that's why you're with Asiba Maruna.
I think there are many things going on. We have so little information. We have so many leads and so many enemies. I know we did not stick to the rules, but we have learned a lot, and we need to start picking things to do and get accomplished. Maybe we did not accomplish much this night, but we need to change tomorrow. We need to change that. We need to focus on one thing, perhaps all of us.
That's what we were supposed to do tonight. I won't beat a dead horse. We have enough information for the evening, and we do need to return to the chantry quickly. At least together, we may be relatively safe. Where's that
At this
taxi?
point, one of those larger taxis pulling up.
Quankle will uncharacteristically get into the front seat.
Jordy's gonna close his eyes for a minute and think back to what he saw in the vision of the ritual. The creature that he saw staked. Not staked, put up on nails. Its face was different, if memory serves. It was a creature of some sort. A wolf creature, perhaps?
No, it was more fleshy than hairy like a wolf.
He'd kind of come out of that and just shake his head and uncharacteristically doesn't pipe up about not getting the front seat. He simply lands in the seat behind Quangle.
I will say the kind of back area has like seats that face, like seat that
Okay.
have their back to the facing forward. Looks to be about 6 seats.
Gus just puts
Hasib
himself in a corner.
hops into a seat where he can see the back window because he's gonna watch to make sure nobody slices this van in half.
And Maruna would sit near enough, like, to Kess to keep an eye on him not devolving worse, but not, like, also giving him enough space, so not, like, right next to him.
Rest of you pile in. Just need to check something.
He's checking our credit. We've destroyed like 2 cars, so now our credit's super low.
It's checking what our insurance rates are at this point.
They're gonna charge us cash. Like we can't even use our credit.
What's the name tag of the cab driver? What's it say? What name we got?
Well, you can be able to see it. However, Dr. Quangle, as you watch as he turns, and you see a Millie.
Well, I tell the gentleman we're going here, and I tell him exactly where we're going.
He nods. Start up the... Then watch, staying on the scene for a moment. There's a second taxi. We cut to inside the vehicle, or as we see you all piled in the back. And then you realize, almost suddenly, that you aren't alone. That there are two other individuals. Jordy, I think it was... Who else was with you at the Elysium the first?
Quangle.
Quangle and Hasib.
Angle and
Hasib.
Hasib. Yeah.
Jordy and Hasib, you would, of course, recognize these two individuals. As you've seen them before a couple nights ago. The two Assamites sit in the back seat.
Would I recognize Muhammad?
Yeah, you would actually. I think it takes you a moment as you like look at. I think actually, what really gets you is you look at him and then you look at like the picture, like one like the ID. Not the same face. Different person.
Quangle would audibly say, "We've had a long night. Do we have to do this now?"
Watches the man in the
he
front
looks to
seat, turns
Muhammad
to you and
says,
goes, "Shh. Listen."
"That's rude."
With that, one of the men in the back. I think we're long overdue a conversation. No?
Since when did our people talk?
These are strange times.
What do you want?
An understanding.
I think I'm gonna turn on or a perception to try to get a sense of their mental state, intentions, that sort of thing.
Sure. Make a roll.
Yeah, so that's perception, empathy. Okay, 2 successes, so that's 2 individuals. Probably the ones in the back since I'm closer to them.
We'll start off with their aura is pale. And you see their aura is covered in dark streaks. Signs as a soul has been stained. You see these individuals stained with sins of Babylon. But they seem calm, collected. But it also looks as if they are still on a hair trigger. They are just aware they are as aware of their own situation's danger as you are of your own. Feels mutual.
Okay. So it's basically like the bear is as scared of you as you are of it type of situation. Okay.
Yeah.
She kind of that's how Marina's thinking of it. So she'll just kind of nod. I agree that these are unprecedented times. Who knows, our interests might align more than we realize. Could surprise us all.
Do the usurpers have interests at this point in time? See the one that's talking almost to you. But you see the other one, seems to lead back.
Mostly to survive.
You say that as if your people are in danger.
I think Cass. Cass leans forward because he's sitting where Maruna is. So Maruna's across from them, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we are in relation to each other. He leans towards them with his elbows on his knees. Looking like someone who's had a night. So we just met the Bahari and a Salubri in the same evening. So I would say we're all pretty much in a collective shit show. So what is the understanding that you're looking for? Because I don't think
Bahari.
any of us are in a good position. Oh
Pays
yeah.
attention to the other Asimite in the back seat and switches into Arabic. Hasib, I believe you speak Arabic.
He does. That is the other language he speaks.
So you hear their conversation, where he essentially says along the lines of, "What is the Bahari?" The other one replies, "Jinn worshippers." Oh no, he would say dark Jinn worshippers. It's kind of not slowly.
And why do the assassins play nice with the Camarilla in these nights?
Do not as much like the term assassins. We are, what is the English word?
Nor
Lord.
we usurpers, he says in reply.
Perhaps it depends on perspective. Either of us would like to admit.
Well,
We consider ourselves pillars of justice. Or at least our justice.
And
Justice or vengeance?
What is it the term is in questions? Eye for eye.
I see. Quankle will unbutton the top button of his jacket.
But we do not come to seek justice. Not against you. No, just an understanding.
so you
seemed-
kidnap us?
Kidnap. No, that would imply that you are helpless. Are you helpless?
Wouldn't say we're ever helpless, but you did, I'm
Look-
assuming, steal a van and then surprise us in it, so.
Did not steal. We borrowed.
He kind of holds a hand up to Cass, sort of falling back into normal Geordie stance at this point, and says, "We'll hear what you have to say then. What is your proposal?"
Goes to speak. And then the other one in the back Arab. Receive of which you understand. This is dangerous. We should not have done this. We should leave now. The other one turns and saying, "We don't have much of a choice right now." We're low on allies. He responds, these are not our allies. These are our enemy. Responds, no. Right now, they are his enemy. That means that they could be helpful. He switches back to English. My apologies. We simply want an understanding, not seek mutual destruction. We are here to survive as much as
Well, we've shared what we have to deal with as problems. What is it you're trying to survive?
let us say we cannot go home. As there was a disagreement with one of our elders. The other one responds in Arabic. Should not be telling them this. Much as you raise them up. Point is,
You're rebels.
no, not rebel. We are the ones who still follow the. We are asylum seekers.
Beholden to a form of orthodoxy.
To an extent.
And the ones you disagree with? The other side of the schism? What does this entail? What are they
hold
after?
an older tradition. Before the prophet.
What do they want?
Stops and thinks. He says a word in Arabic. Hasib, you would understand this. Consume. Or hunger. Or take over. And then he switches back to English and he says, they want to end the jihad. Once and for all. But in a way that is not beneficial to those we are meant to protect.
Right. Marina's kind of gonna look around at the others. But she's gonna say, I'm only one of us, but from my perspective, we aren't looking to make any more enemies right now. So if you're not gonna cause us any trouble, you have nothing to worry about from us, I don't think.
Good.
Let's
That
call it a
is-
mutual defense pact. Which means if any of you fuck with us, that pact is off.
Know that it is the same on our end.
Where do you hold haven then in the city? We do not wish to overstep.
He chuckles. Shakes his head. No, we will keep that to ourselves. Once something is spoken, it's part of the evil. And it can be taken just as easily. We will keep that to ourselves. The other one begins to speak in says, we can't trust these usurpers. And even if we did, no way they would stand a chance against the shepherd. He waves him up. This time, the other one, Arabic, far more infuriated. Kind of see the displeasure. You, Maruna, can see that there's more of like an anxiety, like a fear that's bubbling beneath. Whatever he's talking about, he's terrified of it.
She's gonna kind of look between them. Did you intend to bring us somewhere?
Oh. With that, he
I would hope
taps on
so.
the front glass. How far are we? One in the front responds. Not long. Specifically, that
Your
would be
home?
in Arabic. So only
Oh.
Hasi. No, not our home. Yours.
Are you just looking to make a pact to avoid mutually assured destruction, or is there something else that you're looking for? I sense that there's something else you're looking for.
We can discuss it at the Elysium. Assuming I'd to show. For now, though, it seems our time is up, as the car slows. You look outside, you are outside the chantry.
Jordy'd wait for others to start getting out of the door.
Quangle gives Muhammad a tip.
Takes it. He kind of looks at it and goes, I have no use.
It's a gesture. It's just meant to be polite.
With
Quangle
odd
says that.
customs here.
Maruna is gonna just quickly, as they're exiting, draw a card from her deck.
Or a card. I gotta find the card most relevant to the situation. While I'm doing this, is there any other things you say? Anyone?
I think as Jordy gets out, he'll probably be one of the last couple to get out, just making sure that most of the clan is out of danger before he leaves. He's just going to stop and think about the fact that they just got dropped off at their chantry by Assamites after fleeing Bahari and Salupre. And he's going to smile, but for the first time, it's like... there's that slight smirk on his face that goes up, and not triggered by presence this time. He just shakes his head in disbelief and will continue on.
Maruna, as you pull forth a card, it is justice.
She's gonna look at it, and I think she's going to hand the card to the one who was talking to her.
reaches to take it. And as he does, there's a moment where you're both holding on to the card. I need you to make a perception occult difficulty 7.
Okay. This feels important, so I think I'm going to use a willpower on this.
Oh, and you get an extra dice.
Oh,
Aimed by Vivid Bees.
oh, thank you. Wait, let me go. How do I have to go? Let me start. Cool. Sorry, perception occult, you said, right? Is there a place for me to add it, or I guess do I just roll it after?
I think there should be one of the things.
Modifier.
Modifier.
The modifier does it.
Okay. I skipped. There's a way to go back.
Roll20 doesn't have the best macros.
Yeah.
You could also just
There we
roll a
go.
d10 in the
Now I
chat.
got it. Now I got it. There we go.
5 successes.
Yeah.
With that, your vision almost moves forward into almost like a pinhole shape as your senses expand. You see a sight before you. A person, or a person-like shape, with skin as black as midnight. You watch as the figure's lips begin to move, as if they were whispering something. And you can see peeking underneath bright white fangs. Watch as it whispers. Before it, there are thousands upon thousands of individuals. Each of them dark-skinned, Middle Eastern dress, and watch as he whispers, he raises. And as he does, you watch and half of them turn to dust, instantly destroyed, as if it were. You watch as others running away from the midnight-skinned individual. You watch as he continues to wave his finger, individuals turning to dust, destroyed without a thought. You see some that are running different directions. Feel them moving around and away from the central figure. You watch as the central figure turns and looks directly at you. It begins to whisper. You take. I need you to make actually, do you have any fortitude? Have any fortitude?
I don't have fortitude now.
No. You take 3 points of aggravated damage.
Okay. Great. Cool.
As
cool.
you
Love
feel
that.
your blood boil and reject you. With that, you're pulled back to reality. He looks at you for goes, "What happened?"
Who is that? That man. Skin as black as midnight, white, fangs like snow.
Watches his eyes go wide.
Right.
Saw him.
Hundreds. Yes.
Then he says something in Arabic. You don't understand what he means, he said. And then he just says, "You should go. It is not safe for you to be outside of your place."
You can keep this. Shook him the card. I don't know what that was, but if that's what you're running from, it's in all of our best interests to help each other. And with that, she'll just give a nod and step out.
With that, the taxi drives.
And then she would ask Hasib what, because she would be repeating in her head like what he had said, and she would ask
It is the
Hasib.
Hasib, you would know this as Arabic words for the Black Shepherd. You're muted.
So when the van does drive off, Hasib immediately dives into his notebook. He was like rigid steel as he was listening, just fighting the temptation to jot down notes while they're in the van. And it seems like he's writing just lines of dialogue, line by line. And he rips it out of the notebook and he says, "This is wait, we need to get inside first." And Hasib will rush to get inside the chantry. And assuming we go in and out of immediate danger, Hasib will say, "This is what they said. All of the words, each of their, they were speaking in Arabic, obviously, but I'm not sure if they knew I could understand them.
It's good that they didn't.
Maybe they did. I mean, it's not like. I mean, I look the way I do. They may have noticed my family's origins. Anyway, this is what they said. There's, and he hands the sheet of paper around so people can read, and but it seems like they're being quite desperate. This Black Shepherd is.
I saw him.
You saw.
I think all of you can notice that there are bits of maroon skin that have turned black, almost necrotic. Like where the flesh has begun to rot.
It would appear that you've done more than see.
It happens sometimes. It's been lately, sometimes the visions, sometimes I see things and they hurt. In real life.
You'll need to exercise caution then if you're looking. I don't know if you have any control over this, but it's not always wise if you do.
I
Hasib, add the Black Shepherd to the list of enemies.
Already done. But it looks like we may have allies, which is a very small pile. Actually, it's not much of a pile at all, but
We have our own equivalents to this Black Shepherd to deal with, don't we? I mean, we don't really have to take on their problems. We agreed not to hunt each other. That seems like good enough for now.
We should still maintain awareness of the general situation. I'm in no way recommending that we take on investigating and any of that, but we don't want to get lost in the sauce and then, oh no, the Black Shepherd is here at the most inopportune time.
what I saw was something powerful enough to destroy hundreds of people with the blink of an eye.
A clarification: thousands.
Thousands of people.
Perhaps above getting our credit back together. Yes, then maybe that take that point.
I will say, as a general thing, none of you guys know a Black Shepherd. You could research it to find out more. Alternatively, if you would like to know about the Black Shepherd, it would be Intelligence Occult difficulty 10.
You know what?
Why not?
I just want to see if I get it.
I got that feeling.
Heart of the cards.
Hearts of the card.
Heart of the cards. Heart of the cards. I got one.
I got one. Botches are live.
mm-hmm.
So you've got one because botches aren't live, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So,
No
oh,
botches.
Jordy got one. Everybody got one so far. Mm.
Sorry, what was the roll?
Intelligence
Occult.
Occult difficulty 10.
Y'all got one.
All right, one success all around. Unfortunately, one success is not enough. You all have.
Come on, Mark. You're all matchy.
You all have heard something about a Black Shepherd or Dark Shepherd or something like that, but you guys read a lot of different things, learn a lot of different things. It could be any creature, entity. Hell, it could be the devil for all you know. It would require more research, but you know it is something important. You know that it's something.
Everything seems to be happening at once. I remember the mentioning of, I think we talked about this a bit, that whole, what was it called? Gehenna?
Yes, Gehenna. They mentioned jihad.
It's starting to seem like either that's happening or everyone believes it's happening, and I'm not sure there's much of a difference at this point. There's too many things in motion that haven't ever happened.
If that is the case, Regent, we need to secure the daughter of Eve. If many people are desperate, they will all be looking for these kinds of people.
We need her, and we need the seed.
Yeah.
I saw the ritual, by the way. The chantry showed it to me.
What was it?
Chantry.
What do you mean the chantry showed it to you?
I told you it spoke to me. I asked to see more. I know where the regent went and where he was trying to return from. Texas. They were meeting there. The Tremere were meeting there.
Why Texas?
Because one of the original Tremere, one of the oldest, she is there, or was there. I don't know.
So,
This isn't gonna go easily, and we're probably not the only people after these things. Or people.
Or not? Yeah.
but we're going to have to, if all of these uh, figures of legend are moving about and going to start imposing their will, we can't be fading like this. Our abilities as they are now they're weaker than they should be, and we need to be stronger if we're going to survive.
Steve, you made an excellent point earlier. We need to decide on our next course of action and do one thing. In my opinion, either we secure the seed first or the daughter of Eve, but we can't separate anymore.
And we need a sixth. We still need a sixth.
We don't have an option.
But if Caius is with the Bahari, then it's even worse than we thought.
It'll get him his power back. I don't think he cares.
If he's with the Bahari, they don't. The only reason they want power at all is to destroy everything. It's a means to an end. I always thought Caius seemed like he just wanted power himself, but if he's with them, if he has the same goals as them, I don't know.
He follows the matron's order. He was ordered not to hurt Anna. So, he didn't.
And the Bahari are among those who are looking for Celine.
He wanted all of your blood.
You didn't give it to him, right?
You would have known if I had taken it.
I'm just making sure you're very sneaky.
He's trying to do the same thing you're doing. I don't know if he'll play along with you doing it at this point because he saw me.
What about the quartermaster? We have the quartermaster. That's 6.
We need 7, I believe.
He's 7.
These size.
Philomena, my sire, I can communicate to her, and perhaps she can even come back from the trip with allies to assist.
Do you have a means of communicating to her?
I will need some time. There is a ritual. I remember, and I would just need to study for a bit.
If it's the ritual I use to speak to the gargoyle, you need something of theirs, usually blood.
Oh no, this one is talking specifically to your sire. So it does not require any such thing. Hopefully.
Okay.
Jordy pulls out the note that the regent had. He has it in like a button-up pocket in his coat. He pulls it out. This was written by Mirlinda of Wessex. She gave it to our regent. She is another option. A
How
very
would we
old
contact
option.
her?
Does anyone know how to fix a mirror?
You're not going through the mirror.
I don't think there's an easy option here.
We watched a man get blown to pieces out of that mirror.
And we don't exactly know what did that.
It's another thing to research. How... It's a matter, I think, of what's faster. If keeping in contact with Philomena. If we can't do either of those options, we should consider that we do have another option.
The embrace.
Yes.
Embracing without approval is dicey, to say the least.
Elysium is tomorrow.
And we would also need a candidate for embracing.
Does anyone have any proposals?
No way in hell.
No way in hell, what, Cass? I don't understand what you're saying.
No way in hell anyone is embracing anyone I know.
I would look for someone who... someone who is dying. Someone who wanted to.
They need to have something of worth for the Tremere.
Oh,
Right
what
now,
about...
and being a seventh person is something of worth.
We'll
we
say
have...
getting someone a suitable candidate may or may not have adverse effects. This is a ritual.
That's
It's
what.
magic.
We have many ghouls. Many have been working for us in the hopes to become one of us.
Yes, the one that gathers my loafers in the morning is doing a particularly good job.
There's one that makes wonderful muffins. Wonderful.
They smell nice, at least. I don't eat them.
Do we know if any of the ghouls have? Because ghouls aren't always taken for potential candidates. Did any of them actually have aptitude towards a Tremere? Is it something Jordy might know as a former whip?
You probably know that none of them were candidates for the Tremere, because if so, they probably would have been faced. Generally, the Tremere keep ghouls because either they have a useful skill, or because they're servile.
Does Michael count as a Tremere?
Not according to my taste. The blood ritual.
We have enough things working against us in casting the ritual. I would prefer not to use Michael and add to those things. Well, there is one other individual.
Your wife.
Potentially.
You would do that to her.
If the clan needed it, yes.
You would give her the choice, though, right?
Of course, I would give her the choice.
It's an option.
Being honest, I would prefer that we get Philomena or someone else before.
I don't trust Philomena.
Hasib looks offended. Why
You
would you
trust-
say such a thing?
You trust Merlinda, a woman we've never met?
She wrote this, didn't she?
True.
I'm not saying anyone is going to be not a threat to us. I think that's off the table at this point. It's about who's going to bring about our destruction faster. And right now, we know that the Regent, Philomena, and Caius all had secrets big enough that they kept from all of us, including what's happening to us right now. She's away in Europe. I'll add that. If she even went.
I do worry with all the threats out there now. If they have slowed her down on her trip.
How about this? Hasib tries to get in contact with Philomena. Jordy, you and I will study the mirror
I've
and
learned
how
the
to make
ritual.
that work. I don't care if you learn the ritual. If you think you're going through it alone, you're an idiot.
I just mean
So-
we need to figure out how to fix the mirror first.
Yeah. So we'll work on that. You two need to go to Elysium tomorrow. If not all of us.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
We have to be at that Elysium.
I don't think we're going to make your wife's I can't say the word in real life. Emily can't say the word. Exhibition. There we go.
If someone
Oh.
gets the seed before we do,
I can't get it out of a museum. I can't break into a museum and go and get it. The Sabbat are also actively watching it. So if we split up, we're going to end up in the same position we were today, but with the
What?
Sabbat in tow.
Why don't we perhaps get our good friends who are very good at sneaking and stealing and may even have a grudge against the Toreador? You know, I think Pitegeist and his friends might
We could
be
offer-
up for a job.
I like where you're thinking,
We could
Okay.
but
offer-
they're not stupid and they're going to know that that's worth a really big price.
I don't think a Quentin Quangle IOU will suffice.
Hasib,
I can give them Caius and everything else I know.
that's good. And Hasib, since you have, seems like you have a good relationship, maybe you can ask what might be an adequate exchange as well.
I can we'll probably need to speak to them when we're at Elysium. That would be a good place.
another thing, right now we have a lot of people with loyalties to people that we need some things to be broken. It looks to Baruna and then to Kess, and then kind of sympathetically over to Hasib as well. The loyalties need to be to the Tremere and to the Chantry. And right now there's a lot of the mess we've had over the last couple days have been from supernatural means of other connections.
Yeah.
My bond is broken, but he has something of mine. I couldn't tell you what.
We should look into how to sever that.
The process of severing Cass and Caius is it's going to result in therapy, from my understanding and analysis. This isn't something that magic can fix. I want to be clear about that to set expectations.
There was also the thing where Caius can inflict pain on Kess from far away, so that might be magic.
He also
Oh, you
spoke in
okay.
my head when we were leaving the abandoned station. So that's great. Let's focus on breaking everyone else's bonds, and then we'll get to mine when we get to mine.
I am still confused on these bonds. I mean, I could see, Caius has a very direct control, it seems. But the rest of us, what kind of? I mean, we need allies in this time. The very few that we have. What are we saying to release them?
Make sure
No.
everyone's thinking clearly and not rendered disabled on a sidewalk. He looks over to Kess.
The last daughter of Eve that we're looking for. Person who's vital to probably saving existence. Yeah, Fox wants to keep her in a glass box in his apartment. So he's not an ally.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that bond is first. Sever Hasib and Philomena.
Wait,
Figure out
what?
me and Caius.
Hasib's bond with Philomena, as I've analyzed, is not necessarily a magical. That's another mental thing going on.
But why do we need to sever mine in Philomena, another upstanding member of our chantry and family?
I will
Jordy
also
just explained
note,
it to you.
as a reminder, as far as you know, no Tremere can create a blood bond, so it's unlikely Hasib bonded.
Okay.
That's not what he's thinking.
Unlikely.
Hasib is bonded in another way.
He's worried about mental modification as a practitioner of dominate himself, but unfortunately not at that level.
Everybody needs therapy.
I keep recommending it. It's good for the soul.
Is there you with modified memories, can they be restored? You kind of asked Jordy.
By someone skilled enough in it.
Do
I've heard
we
of it
know?
happening.
Do we know anyone skilled enough in it?
The prince?
Eventually,
and the seneschal, but I wouldn't trust the seneschal at all.
No.
The Ventrue hate me, but some of you seem to have good relationships with them. Maybe you could take Hasib to see one of them.
I would be more than willing to do that. Unfortunately, I owe a favor that was supposed to be acted on tonight.
And what favor? What are we missing?
Oh.
Please, Cass, continue.
Before we got kind of kidnapped by the Bahari, we were supposed to be going to the Nosferatu to get information for Quangle so that he could fulfill his promise to the Ventrue because he has debts.
Well, we need to talk to the Nosferatu anyways, right? And we're running out of time.
I will note
Maybe
it
that happens
is
before tomorrow.
3 a.m. We'll have about 2.5 hours till sunrise.
Hasib, message Bite Guys.
To set up a meeting at Elysium, I will happily message you
Before.
Tell him
before.
we want to talk to the father.
To the father, right? I'm sure he will know what that means.
He does.
And what does that mean?
You've seen the father, probably.
Is that the Primogen or something?
It's a very old, very powerful Nosferatu.
Whatever needs to happen at this point, but it needs to happen before the event at the museum and before Elysium. Which means we don't have a lot of time once the sun goes down.
Hasib, you can tell him or the father. I'm not sure who would know better in this instance. So we meet the Nosferatu, we go to Elysium, we're all going together. We are not going to the exhibition because it's at the same time.
One quick question. Are you guys outside? Chantry?
No, we're
No,
inside.
we went in.
We went in.
Okay.
We've been in.
Hasib ushered us in, if memory serves. Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear a doorbell go.
If I had a camera right now, I could tell you who is at the door.
Hasib, I will get you outside cameras.
I'll get
Yes.
it. Quangle goes to the door.
Take Michael.
Michael follows behind. I'm being
Okay.
healthy.
I think
Before I open the door,
Jordy wants to see this, so he's gonna follow behind a bit.
Michael, stand off to the side, out of eyesight, and if anything happens violent, you attack the person doing it who's not family. Do you understand, Michael?
Yes. I will be.
Very good, Michael. Very good. Quangle opens the door.
Open
It's
the
quite
door.
late.
You see a person in a hood. See, they look up and you kind of see scraggly looking beard, warty, scarred face, a lot of like acne scars. It looks like this person's been through the ringer. Hear a voice. I think you guys want to have a chat with me.
Come on in.
He looks around. Slowly and very hesitantly steps inside.
Wait, is
Eventually.
that? I recognize that voice.
Oh yeah.
Stepping into the
Hasib-
parlor is the humanoid form. Zeitgeist's persona. It slowly begins to peel away from the horrific face under.
Hasib, your friend is here.
Hasib bounds around the corner and is gonna give this guy a hug.
He gives you a hug back.
Is it
As you-
automatically warded? Like, is he not able to enter? I can't remember.
I'm
now.
in charge of wards for some reason, and I haven't done anything.
I assume we have no
because
wards in
the
Wood.
door has been opened for him. He hasn't had to like touch the door.
I didn't.
So you know what? He steps inside and he goes, and kind of hugs Hasib and goes, "All right, so I have some important information for you guys." Then you watch as the ground shifts upwards slightly, and then almost acts like a trampoline as it fires him out the front door of the chantry and into the street. And that is where we'll end today's session.
No,
Oops.
bite, guys. No.
Ooh.
No, we catapulted Bike Guy.
I should switch the door like Portal, so it goes out the door and then comes back in.
Yeah.
through the door. All right.
All right.
So yeah, I hope y'all have enjoyed today's session, and I hope those who are watching have enjoyed watching. With that, let's do some outros. This would start off with Cyberbro. Cyberbro, give us your outro.
All right, I am Cyberbro. I've been Dr. Quentin Quangle, and I may get my family back.
May just get your family. Up next, Hasib. Zach, give us your outro.
Sure, and I'm Zach, and tonight we had some more Hasib, and Hasib got to hug one of his good friends, Bite Guy. Barely gets to see the guy ever in real life. It's always online and in the forums. But you know, as it is, we're just gathering the family and friends. I'm sure if we get, a critical mass of family and friends, there's nothing we can't do, or something. But no, I had a blast tonight. I can't wait until we look again at our pile of enemies that somehow gets larger by every session.
Absolutely. Things are gonna get more and more intense as we are starting to head towards the climax of this series. Up next, Ree, why don't you give us your outro?
Hi everyone, I'm Ree. I played Maruna today, and I love playing pretty much every kind of TTRPG. You can see more of me playing with Mortal Rolls on Monday evenings, and also sometimes on Bob's channel, Legend of the Five Rings this Saturday, and then of course sometimes at my own channel, Drawing. And back here again next Wednesday, which I'm very much looking forward to. So hope everyone has a good night.
It's gonna be a good time.
Oh God.
Up next, Emily, give us your outro.
Hi, I'm Emily. I played Kess. I'm somehow shockingly still alive, undead, whatever you want to call it. I can also be found on Bob's channel. On Tuesdays, we play Pendragon, but we are the fairy and sorcery side of Pendragon. Not the sometimes the night fighty side, but mostly the creepy magic side. So definitely check that out. And also, of course, love playing this because vampires. And we're totally fine. We just catapulted a man across the street, but it's fine.
It's fine. It's probably fine.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Last but certainly not least, Bob, why don't you give us your outro, rather?
Hi everyone, Ticking Time Bob Gaming here. So you might have noticed that I haven't been streaming that much. That is because I went to a con, and then I'm back, and I'm recording in Fog of War right now. So on Sunday, if you want to come join us, first off, mention Saturday is Legend of the Five Rings, as Sorcery Arts mentioned. We're gonna go ahead and then move into back to streaming Pendragon again, starting on Sunday. So Sunday is a very important live event. You're welcome to join and watch the Salisbury Knights go through it, followed by a recording of everyone else going through the same war. So it's going to be a long one, a bit of a marathon one. But yeah, we're going to do those back to back. And we are very close to the next age of Pendragon, something about a sword and a stone. So that's fun to finally get there. Last bit is we have some upcoming interviews on my YouTube. If everything goes well, crossing my fingers, but I can report on it because the people sounded interested. I'm likely to interview me, myself, and Die, Trevor Duvall, as well as Jason Carl from LA by Night. So if everything moves well in that direction, those will be pretty awesome interviews to add to the TTRPG talks. And I'm going to stop there because that's enough.
And I have been your storyteller, Mark, aka the CatsMeow. I hope you've enjoyed this Tremere and evening, as everything seems to be falling into place and mysteries are starting to be solved and more mysteries are starting to be unveiled. Questions are never answered and only lead us to more questions. I hope you've had fun. I hope you're excited for more. Join us tomorrow at, I want to say, 6 p.m. EST, where I will be running second episode of my short mini-series, The Court of Mithras, set in the 13th century, London.
Isn't that 2 days from now?
Is that 2 days from now? It's 2 days from now. I forgot how time works. Join us on Friday, 2 days from now, if you're in EST land or in America land. At 6 p.m. EST. Yeah. Time zones, man. Knock it out of you. Nonetheless, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're excited for more. And we will see you all next time. With that, we are going to raid out, but we're going to jump to a away scene. So, goodbye, everyone. Follow us to the raid.